So new patch notes are upon us, and this is a kind of minor update but with quite a lot of changes. So let's delve in and take a look at everything that is coming with this update this week. Ghastly horrors wait in creation's domain. Royalty so rarely have their plans unravel, and it's said the anger of a thwarted prince is twice the rage of a wise king. Our next content update brings the Creations Domain preview event, Season of the Harvest returning events, updates to the Leakry Gauntlet, and more. As with all previous content updates, there will be server maintenance starting on November 25th from 4 to 6 pm PST for Oceania, East Asia, Southeast Asia, and for Europe servers, and on November 26th from 12 till 2 am PST for servers in the Americas. After the maintenance has concluded, all items mentioned below will be live. Specific dates for any features going live afterwards are provided below. As this article is an early look at the next content update, please be aware information conveyed may be subject to change. So that we know from these content updates, sometimes there's a few things that change with numbers and things like that. So taking a look at the codex, we've got Fear the Creations Domain, Reap the Season of the Harvest, Rift RACER returns, changes to the Prodigy's path, feature updates, future changes, region-specific game additions, and bug fixes. So kicking off, let's take a look at Fear the Creations Domain. For something to be reborn, it must die. Metamorphosis requires sacrifice of the highest price. Are you willing to pay the cost? From December 10th 3am server time until December 21st 3am server time, log in to glimpse a preview of our next major update coming in the lands of Sanctuary. Note that you will also need to be at over level 30 to participate in this event. Log in on multiple days to glean what Prince Albrecht has in store for his people. Interesting. While Creations Domain is live, you'll receive a 100% bonus to XP gained from Battle Pass levels. Rewards unlock on day 2, 4 and 8 by logging in and completing daily tasks. So this is similar to events that we've had in-game before, but obviously it looks like it's leading on from where we left off with Prince Albrecht in-game. So interested to see what is going to come with the update after this one. This seems like it's just almost like a filler patch. So yeah, let's see what else is coming out with this. Reap the Season of the Harvest. Pretty gnarly graphic here that we've got of this Crusader. Amidst the terror wreaked Amidst the terror wreaked by the many pestilent demons that riddle the countryside, the destitute farmers still manage to eke out a meagre harvest. Will the hope they spread be enough to support their dwindling numbers? From December 10th 3am till January 7th 3am local server time, crush your way through returning events to receive gleaming rewards for your efforts. Once the weekend hits, prepare to face off against your fellow adventurers. Their blades will be well honed and prepared. Progress in Season of the Harvest in the following returning events. Survivor's Bane, December 10th to December 17th. Conqueror, December 17th to December 24th. Trial of the Whores, December 24th to December 31st. Fractured Plane, December 31st to January 7th. So this is obviously the replacement for the Hedonists. I'm not sure what it's called, I cannot remember, but the current one that's in-game and what originally replaced the event centre in-game as well. Rift RACER returns. So this is another event that quite a few people enjoyed. I did not enjoy this one myself. So the Gauntlet, is that it? Rift RACER returns. Searing Flame. The Gauntlet for the swiftest demon slayers returns. Okay, it is this. From December 10th 3am till December 14th at 10 pm, attempt to clear deadly rifts in the fastest time. For this next round of Rift RACER, we're leaving the event open at all times, so you have more freedom to attempt your fastest clear. Normal difficulty will have a stat normalization effect active, and we're also increasing the difficulty of Nightmare. Treasure Goblins will be replaced with an all-new challenge called Trials. Coordinate with your team to overcome the Trial of Souls and the Trial of Life to earn Rift Progress Orbs to push you towards the Rift Guardian faster. Nightmare difficulty will now also have a party restriction, limiting the numbers of duplicate classes down to 2 to help increase the class representation in the event. Normal difficulty will have a server-only leaderboard, while Nightmare difficulty will be cross-server competition. Your rank in each difficulty will earn you rewards at the end of the event. May your killing be swift and rewards be bountiful. So, okay, they have made some changes to this. I maybe will play it just to make a video for you guys, but I have no interest in these sort of events. It's not really my sort of thing. Yeah, it was interesting last time to see the teams that made it to the top. But yeah, it's not really something that I enjoy so much, but good luck to those taking place and those that are hoping to place top on the leaderboard. Changes to the Prodigy's path. We're making changes to Prodigy's path with the desire to make it more accessible for players that may want a more affordable option. We will be decreasing the duration and rewards, but also the price accordingly. Players that are used to purchasing the Prodigy's Path will not see a difference over time, but this change will give players that may not have usually purchased it access to some rewards at a lower price point. So I'm guessing that they're either going to make multiple levels for it, as with the Battle Pass, or they are potentially making it, as it already said at the top, run for a shorter duration. So you'll be able to purchase it maybe for like half the month if you want to, rather than it taking longer. I don't know. We'll see what that's like when it's in game. I'll try and make a video on changes that come to the shop with this update. Feature updates, buff bar tooltip improvements. We've added the ability to create hyperlink text inside the buff bar tooltips so we can provide short descriptions of text while still providing the ability to give longer descriptions as a pop-up next to the link. One of the main places you'll see this is the buff for Strife. As you can see below, the text displayed can now be selected to display more details about the buff's functionality. We want to make it clear that Strife functionality has not changed in any way. This is solely a change that updates the display and text in the tooltip to make it easier to read. Is there a picture of it below? You'll see this. Hang on. You can see below. We cannot see below. There isn't a picture. Okay, not helpful. We'll scroll down in a minute. Maybe it's put somewhere else in here, but yeah, let's look at the next thing. Changes to Deeds of Valor. In response to community feedback, we're making additional changes to the Deeds of Valor system to increase the number of impact marks awarded during the cycle of Strife. These are only the first round of adjustments we're making to how players can earn the Akiba's chosen Deeds of Valor badge, so be on the lookout for additional changes next year. Okay, so that's going to make it easier. Beginning on your server's next Immortal Reign, you can earn 8 additional impact marks through Rite of Exile battles. With this change, it brings the total amount of impact marks to 24 for winning Shadow Clans, and losing Shadow Clans can receive 16 impact marks, so quite a difference there. Additionally, the win condition has been changed to include any week instead of the final week in the Rite of Exile. For example, if a Shadow Clan wins on week 4 but loses every other week while still finishing in the top 10 during the final week, they'll earn 24 impact marks. So it's making it easier for those clans to actually earn impact marks if they have won one of the Rite of Exile battles at any time during the Rite of Exile for that reign, that current reign. The only way to earn 16 impact marks is by losing every single Rite of Exile match. Participating clan members who claim victory on the final week in Rite of Exile will still earn their own impact mark, which can't be reassigned by the clan leader. Clans can now earn up to a maximum of 40 impact marks through Rite of Exile activities when you include the extra impact marks earned during the Vigil of Blades. Clan leaders will also have access to the UI that lets them more easily assign impact marks. Once an impact mark has been assigned to a clan member, their impact will automatically update, and the impact mark will remain with them even if they leave the clan. Other clan members may view this UI as well to see where your impact marks are being assigned, but they will not be able to interact with it to change player positions. Upcoming changes to selling gems. In this next update, we're disabling the ability to sell normal gems rank 2 to 5 in exchange for platinum on the market. If you have any rank 2 to 5 normal gems and attempt to post them to the market, they'll be dismantled down to rank 1 and posted as rank 1 gems. I did wonder when that was going to change, because obviously that's what they've done with the 1-star gems as well. This upcoming change will take effect on November 26th. During this time, all 2 to 5 normal gem posts on the market will expire and be removed. You can collect them from the market and repost them, but the new changes will take effect. Vic in Westmarch will also offer the option to dismantle the rank 2 to 5 gems as well. Special effects adjustments. So this is in the graphics. We're adding a new graphic setting where you can reduce the visual effects of other players' skill effects or monster skill effects. Additionally, we're including simplified mode to reduce PvP combat interface information and visual effects. I thought they'd done this already recently. Maybe it's slightly different to this, but I swear that we had this done already, but whatever. War games optimizations. We're adding a suite of changes to existing wargame modes alongside optimizations and improvements to the user interface and functions. Okay, this is great because this is what we'd actually asked for when we ran our war games event with Mao and GZ. We're excited to see what players have done with the war games, and we're looking forward to future iterations for this game mode. The development of this game mode is heavily driven by community feedback, so please let us know how you feel and how you've fared so far. The following optimizations and changes will be added. The current host can now promote another player to host. If the current host is inactive for too long, you can also take hosting from them to continue playing in the same lobby. If a host leaves the lobby, it will no longer force the lobby to close for everyone else. Instead, it will promote the first player who joined to be the new host. The number of points needed to win a match is now customizable setting for Tower War and Destruction's Call, Capture the Flag. Preparation time is now a modifiable setting. Destruction's Call Slayer now has an option to disable the safe bases and healing zones within them. Destruction's Call Slayer safe bases will now appear green for your base and red for the enemy base to represent that one will heal, one other will deal damage to you. The AFK check inside Destruction's Call has been removed. The Tower War map will now close as intended if the only players left are spectators. The Wargame table now has a unique icon which can be found in the map legend when viewing the West March map. Potency and resistance are now available at stat selections in the play info notification. Okay, so that's what they've done there for the War Games mode, and I was hoping there'd be a few more changes that would make it easier for us to actually manage certain things for the team players, to make it, set resonance targets for this, etc., etc. But obviously that has not yet been added. It's something we've been asking for, a few things with War Games, so that we can run another War Games tournament basically, and have it a little bit more manageable for us, so that people aren't having to individually do their setup so much. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that, and what further updates we get for this in the future as well. So moving on, 4-person co-op raid optimization. We're returning to the Ravenous Glade for an update to Vanguard. We wanted to push this version of Vanguard to emphasise the need to control the Glade Bane boss and for you to modify your builds to succeed in the higher difficulty levels. To do this, we're increasing the amount of monster attacks that swarm your party and emphasise the quick decisions needed to progress through this challenge. We've upped the unique challenge of this version while streamlining the flow so it will be easier to get through your weekly runs. The Glade Bane boss will enter at 15-second invulnerability chanting state at 75% and 30% health, during which time a significant number of elite monsters will spawn. If you successfully kill all elite monsters within 15 seconds, the boss will fall to the ground for 15 seconds. This makes them open to attacks, which also deal damage bonus. If you fail to kill all elite monsters in this time, the boss will unleash a full screen attack, dealing high amounts of damage to everyone. Plan carefully to overcome this vicious onslaught. So either this is going to be really tough, or it's going to be not as challenging as we thought in the past. Considering this gameplay already relies on constant boss attacks, we're removing the final Helikri boss. Many normal monsters have been added back into this raid. We'll see what this is like when it's in game. Again, I'll try and cover this in a video, but I don't find Vanguard exciting at all. I'm sorry, it's not my favourite mode. I just do it for the sake of doing it. Cheating prevention in PvP matches. Interesting, let's read on. In an effort to help prevent foul play in PvP matches, we're implementing mode-specific restrictions on items, legendary gems, Paragon and other systems to prevent players from manipulating combat power. This is typically done through unequipping or swapping items, ensuring fair matchmaking and balanced PvP experiences. Okay, we'll see what that's like when it happens. Spectral Allies AI behavior. Improves several AI functions for spectral allies under various conditions. Spectral allies should now no longer continuously teleport back to your position if you're dead, have the ability to split themselves up to attack multiple targets when they are required for enemies to die at the same time, have the ability to detect nearby priority targets or objectives and interact with them. Updated cheating prevention measures. We're updating the following game modes to prevent any foul play. Battleground. Once you've found a match, you'll no longer be able to change your warband remnants. When in combat, you'll now be prompted that you can't replace your Paragon skills. Tower War. Once you've found a match, you'll no longer be able to change your warband remnants. When in combat, you'll now be prompted that you can't replace your Paragon skills. So is that same? Wild Brawl. Once you've found a match, you'll no longer be able to replace the following legendary and normal gems: Paragon skills, runes, Helikri, warband remnants. When in combat, you'll no longer be able to change your Paragon skills. See, I didn't know this at Wild Brawl, the top bullet point there. I didn't know that you could actually do that. That would make sense for why sometimes you enter and just get completely obliterated by people. Also, not to mention with Wild Brawl, you do sometimes get multiple teams of friends queuing for it so that they basically give each other the wins each time and dominate the rest of the map. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see those changes. Again, Wild Brawl I don't really play much because I just find it really disappointing for all of the above mentioned things. Trial of the Hordes. When matchmaking, the following can be replaced, but you'll still matchmake with the highest combat rating value previously equipped. Once you've found a match, you won't be able to replace them. This applies to legendary items, set items, legendary and normal gems, paragon skills, familiars, runes, Helikri, warband, remnants. Do people really care about Trial of the Hordes enough to change those things? I wouldn't have thought so, but yeah, hopefully this will help in Battleground for a lot of players in game. We'll see once that updates in game. Future changes. Fabled Wisp material updates. On December 17th, we're making changes to how Fabled Wisps are converted to help reduce some of the clutter from the high number of different materials required to craft set items. We'll be adding 3 new difficulties, Inferno 10 to 12, and their corresponding materials, Fabled Wisp Inferno 10, Fabled Wisp Inferno 11, Fabled Wisp Inferno 12. Fabled Wisp Inferno 8 to 9 will still exist, but the older Fabled Wisp Hell 1 to Inferno, I cannot read Roman numerals, will be automatically converted. I think that's 6. So, sorry, 7 to 9 will still exist, but the older Fabled Wisps Hell 1 to Inferno 6 will be automatically converted to a new universal crafting material called Fabled Wisp, which also has no difficulty attached to it. Also, before anyone comes at me about Roman numerals, it's not something we were ever taught at school when I was at school. So yeah, wonderful that I don't know that. Upon logging in after this patch, you will receive an in-game mail containing the new Fabled Wisp material with the quantity equal to the amount of Fabled Wisp Hell 1 to Inferno 6 that you had in your inventory. This also, or is that Inferno 5? No, it is Inferno 6. God. This also means that salvaging set items from Hell 1 to Inferno 6 will now generate Fabled Wisps instead of their previous materials. These Fabled Wisp materials can be used to craft set items for any difficulty, and they can be converted into the Fabled Wisp materials at the rate of 7 to 1, so basically the same rate as before. This change not only reduces the overall number of materials for set crafting, but also helps provide a smoother progression experience through low difficulties for both new and returning players. I would say for new and returning players, this is definitely more for them. A lot of the older players like myself have destroyed old wisps because you kind of just hold on to them for so long and then you're like, what is the point? Helikri Gauntlet rotation changes. Starting on December 17th, Helikri Gauntlets will no longer rotate out immediately when new difficulties are added into the game, and their Helikri Gauntlet is introduced. The previous set of Helikri Gauntlets will remain available for completion for 6 months after the new bosses are added to the game, so that's great for the players that haven't yet had a chance to complete them. Our intent is to help reduce the pressure for completing the final Helikri Gauntlets in each rotation by leaving the challenges and rewards open for longer. We'll also have some additional changes to the rewards for Helikri Gauntlets that we're currently working on for future updates. I think that's really good for new players and people that, as I said, don't get the chance to do it because of combat rating at the time. Balance changes. On December 17th, we'll be doing a round of balance changes. The reason that these changes are delayed is because the Battle of Realms tournament is active until December 10th. While our goal is to make changes more frequently, we don't want to undermine player investments right in the middle of a highly competitive event, so we decided to wait until after the Battle of Realms has ended to adjust. Additionally, new legendary essences will be released in this next major update, as well as a new set and new legendary paragon skills. As with previous legendary essence releases, your current loyalty points will be automatically converted into legacy loyalty points, and the cost to unlock items will be adjusted. Cycle of Strife bi-week changes. The clan that has a bye-week in the Shadow War will automatically receive 9,000 experience after the match ends. This rule update will take effect next season. The handling of experience points in the current season will stay the same. So that is the changes for feature updates. That is all of them there. So interesting to see what this is like once it's in game and if it actually feels any different. For a lot of these instances, we'll have to see when it actually goes live. So next up, we have region-specific game additions. Battleground user interface changes. When entering Battleground, when selecting team member, the names and wins of both players will no longer be displayed. I don't know, it doesn't say what region this is for. Okay. Build sharing optimizations. We've optimized what's shared for player data in the build recommendation system, which allows you to see more build setups shared by players from other servers. Yeah, I don't know what region this is for. Sorry, guys, it doesn't actually say that here. And yeah, bug fixes. That is the last part of this update. So nothing major, nothing that exciting, just a lot of feature changes really with this update. So there should be a bigger update probably a couple of weeks after this all goes live. And you may have noticed as well, there's an event that's landed in game today, and to me it looks a lot like the Lich King. It's about the Fallen Citadel. So yeah, that is in game as well, so definitely check that out on the events tab when you log in. But that is it from me for this video. I hope you found this helpful, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Official Diablo Partner.